Last month, Sheamus returned to WWE Raw rocking a flabbier, less jacked-looking physique. I didn't want to weigh in on this at the time. When it comes to sensitive matters such as body image, I prefer to take a step back and try and analyze the situation rather than jump right in. It allows those who are actually relevant to the situation, such as the wrestlers themselves, or people who work within the industry, to respond before I weigh in with my almighty holier-than-thou, YouTube mark opinion. But here's my opinion. In plain talk, it's dumb to body shame Sheamus over this added weight. First off, it's important to note that Big Ginger didn't think he was returning last month. He got called up early, and so he wasn't expecting to have to be in tip-top shape. However, this reasoning, as given by Sheamus, isn't the most encouraging thing I've ever heard. Because looking at Sheamus, it's a pretty extreme weight cut to go through in a few weeks, if he was to return as scheduled. Are you telling me that this is just what he looks like a few weeks out, then all of a sudden within a month he transforms? I don't like the sound of that, and I think in some ways we need to take a step back as fans and be mindful of what we might be pushing people to do here. There are performance-enhancing, let's call them supplements, that can aid in fat loss very quickly. It's also fair to say that Sheamus is probably using other kinds of supplements as well, especially when his physique has been at his peak. There's really no 100% safe way to do those supplements. So if we're body shaming him, are we sort of pushing him towards ramping up gear usage? Wasn't it the fans who would criticize and mock Vince McMahon's insane obsession with roided out muscular men? Isn't it kind of ironic if we do the same thing to wrestlers? I do agree that he definitely got out of shape, even if we were to hold him to a natural standard. But for one thing, it's a hell of a lot more accurate to how a successful Celtic warrior might have actually looked. I mean, most of them were skinny. Some of them probably will have been successful enough to fatten up, but none of them looked like bloody Thor. With Sheamus now 46 years old as a fan, I'm wary of how far we may take this. The idea of body shaming wrestlers is definitely a slippery slope, even if on the face of it they seem to take it well. We probably don't want a culture that promotes the idea that if someone slips below their previously established Herculean standard, that they've somehow fallen off the wagon. So I hope Sheamus does get in better shape and healthier shape for himself, but I'm definitely wary of what he could be pushed towards, or what other wrestlers will be pushed towards in this culture. It's also worth noting that he didn't look that bad. I mean, back in the 50s and 60s, he'd be a monster heel, with that physique standing at around 6'3". But I digress. That's my opinion, and above all, don't shame Sheamus.